Very good morning, my dear students. Today in this session we will start with SS. Lesson number 6. Name of the lesson is Human Resources. Do you know the way we collect information about the whole class? Similarly, we can collect information about the entire population, and it is done at regular intervals. Let's discuss about it. What is census and why is it carried out? Collection and cataloging of information about people living in a country or any particular region of the country is known as the census. Many times you might have heard that, you might have seen that government persons are coming to our house and just they take the number of people, how many number of people are there and what is the age, how many males, how many females, how many children, boy, girl, all that readings they come and take from us. That is called census. It is done every 10 years under the regulation of central government. After every 10 years it is done. The last census in our country was carried out in the year 2011. It was done for the 7th time after the independence. In the census of 2011, there was a provision of providing a unique ID number and identity card to every citizen. It was a special feature of the census 2011. It is our duty to provide correct information to the government. You should not say or you should not hide anything. You should not say wrong. You should give the correct information that how many members are there in your house, how many senior citizens are there, how many kids are there. Human resources is the human capital of our country. The development of a nation depends on its human capital. It is the wealth of a nation. Development of a country depends not only on the area of the country or its natural resources, but also it is based on the quality and quantity of human resources that contribute a lot to the economic development. The health, education, professional skills and ambitions increase the productivity of the nation, and as a result the country develops. This is done in order to take necessary measures. Census is mandatory in order to plan out country's 5 years development plan in regard to food, water, housing facilities, industry, electricity, employment, education and conservation. Nowadays, Forest Department keeps a record of endangered animals, birds and even plants. Even domestic animals are counted. An estimate of the population of India. The total land area of our country is 32,87,263 square kilometers, which is 2.42% of the world's total land area. Very important point, children, that what is the land area of India, our country, how many kilometers, and in the world's total land only 2.42% is covered by India. Area wise, India stands 7th in the world. More than 16% of the world's population lives in India. India stands 2nd in terms of population after China. You can see over here the map is given, and you have to fill up here the census of 2011, country, state, district, village, etc. Qualitative human population is also called human resources. The quality of human resources depends on education and intelligence, that how many scientists are there, engineers are there, doctors are there. In our country, the quality of human beings is also more. Skilled citizens like doctors, educationists, engineers, sportsmen, industrialists, businessmen, farmers, artisans, laborers. Other responsible citizens are the human resources. Children and youth are the potential resources. Population growth. Population of India has increased by 18.1 crores in a decade between 2001 to 2011. However, the population growth rate has gone down, which is noteworthy point. Moreover, there has been an increase in the number of literate and educated citizens also. Population of India in 2001 was 102.87 crores, which has increased to 121.01 crores in the year 2011. Between 10 years, see the ratio how much population has increased. It was 102 and now it has increased to 121. This is a matter to worry about for the central government, and hence various policies and schemes have been launched to bring the population growth under control. Consequently, the rate of population growth has gone down by 1.7%. You can see over here for 1901 to 2011, different flow chart is given, graph is given, that how much is the increase in the population. You can see over here the graph is given. Reasons for population growth is population increase in natural phenomenon, but there are various factors responsible for the population growth. First is immigration from other countries for industrial or trading or educational or just for the settlement purpose. Second reason is the lower death rate in the last 2 decades. Earlier, the rate of population growth was low as the infant and female mortality rate was high. The number of pregnant women dying due to the unavailability of proper medical aid was high. The modes of transportation and roads were not as good as now, so people could not reach the medical centers easily in times of need. But now the roads have improved, medicines are available, treatment is available, so it has decreased the death rate. There was no control over disease like cholera, typhoid, plague, etc. Even the famines were more frequent, succumbing many lives. Medical facilities were not as developed and accessible as now. I already told you that medical facilities were not available. Now they are available. Scenario has completely changed today. Nutritious food is now easily available to people. Communicable diseases are under control due to the advanced medical treatment. Vaccination programs are being held. Immediate medical help, speedy mode of transport and communication are easily available. For example, 108 ambulance government has provided. Immediate person is carried to the hospital at any place on even highways. If the accident occurs, immediately 108 facility is provided and the person can be saved. Pre and post disaster management has improved and people who get affected are rehabilitated faster. Weather forecast is now proper, so before disaster happens or before tsunami floods occurs, tentatively it is known only that before that the people are taken away at the safer place and they are saved. Thus the death rate has gone down. This has led to higher population growth rate now, and apart from the above factors, the average life expectancy of humans has increased. The average life expectancy of humans in 1920 was 40-41 years, and which has now increased to 63-64 years. There are many factors responsible for an increase in the birth rate. Few of them are illiteracy, superstitions, orthodox thinking, social customs, where male child is considered important, child marriage, poverty, widow, remarriage, negative attitude towards the idea of a small family, etc. These are the factors responsible for increase in the birth rate. Rising population causes administrative problems, for example, shortage of food, water, housing, pollution, conservation, employment, traffic congestion, etc. To deal with such problems, many policies, schemes and legal measures have to be planned. As per the Prohibition of the Child Marriage Act of 2006, the appropriate marriageable age for male is 21 and for the female is 18 years. So, marriage before this age is a crime. This also helps in reducing the population. You can see over here the population chart is given. You can read over here the population census of the year from 901 to 2011, change in the population. Here you can see the census percentage. You can see over here an annual growth. How much is the growth? You can see over year. Now density of population. What do you mean by the density? The average number of people living per square kilometer area is termed as the density of population. Very important point, children, that what do you mean by the density? People living in the per square kilometer area is called the density of population. Population density is associated with social, economic and geographical conditions. You can see over here the graph is given. Region, the world, developed nations and developing nations and India. Total population in millions it is given, children. India's population is 1186.2 millions. It was in 2008. Now in percentage 1.5%. Rate of productivity is 2.78 of India only I am talking about. Infant mortality rate per 1000 is 54. And life expectancy in years, male is 63 and female is 66 years. Now top 10 countries in the term of population. Census are of 2008. China is first, India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil. Number is given. 5th is Brazil, 6th Pakistan, Nigeria 7th, Bangladesh 8th, Russia 9th and Japan 10th. And these population terms are given in million. 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs people. You can see over here the China 1324, India 1149.3. It is the second highest. Now they have estimated till 2050 what will be the population of the particular country. Means India will come first, it will lead China, and near about till 1755.2 million population will increase. Means China will be second and India will be, this is estimated in till which year? 2050, not now. There is not drastic change. The Pakistan may come on the 5th number and Nigeria 6th it will come, and Brazil will go at the 7th place. Then Bangladesh 9th is Congo and 10 is Philippines. You can see the ups and downs are, there is little bit changes in the countries ratio and number. It is estimated for the year 2050. Population varies from country to country. Even in our country, all the regions or states don't have the same population. There is no uniformity in the distribution of the population. Population density is high in the fertile alluvial plains of river, deltas, industrial area, etc. On the other hand, the population density is low in the areas like desert, mountains and forests due to unfavorable conditions, because their water and air popular means proper air and facilities are not available. Housing facilities are not available. In desert there is no water, less water, so the density of population is less in that areas. Factors affecting the density of population. Which are the factors? Density of population is affected by various geographical factors like altitude, climate, weather, topography, types of crops, availability of minerals, water and energy sources, etc. Along with it, transport and communication facilities, education, health facilities, industrialization, employment opportunities, urbanization, latest technology, etc. also affect the density of population. I told you that if there are no schools, no water facilities, no industrialization is there, then people will not get the employment. So in that rural areas, the density of population is less comparatively to the urban area. 5 states having the maximum population of our India. You can see which are the 5 states. First, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. These are the 5 states which are having maximum population in our India. 5 states and union territories having the least population. Lakshadweep Islands, Diu and Daman, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Sikkim. These places are having less population. Now, birth rate. What do you mean by the birth rate? The total alive infants in 1 year per 1,000 persons in a given area is known as birth rate. Infant means below 1 year age, newborn babies. For the past few years, the birth rate in India has been consequently declining. People exercise family planning more than before. In rural areas, the implementation of family planning is much lesser due to the lack of education, lack of health facility, poverty, unemployment, and ignorance about the means of the birth control. Now, what do you mean by the death rate? The number of deaths in 1 year per 1,000 persons in a specific area is termed as death rate. The one who takes birth dies too, hence the death rate can never be 0. Still, various researches, medical treatments, medicines, vaccination, control over disease, new technology, etc. can bring down the death rate. Live example, children, nowadays corona is there, pandemic situation. In that already vaccine has been launched in the market, and now the people are given vaccine for corona, so we can save the life of the people and we can reduce our death rate. Migration, what do you mean by one place to another? People shift. When people shift from one place to another, it is known as migration. People indulge into a range of activities in order to earn and develop. Socio-cultural needs also compel people to keep migrating. Rural population is attracted towards urban areas for better facilities in education, business, industries, employment and administration, because nowadays in villages no employment, so from rural area the people shift for better education for their children, they shift to urban areas, and that is called migration, and the rural population is reduced. Currently 62% of the population of Gujarat lives in rural areas and 38% lives in the urban areas. Population composition, what do you mean by population composition? The classification of total population into various categories is called population composition. Categorization is done as per male, female, as per age group, as per literacy rate, rural urban areas, religions, linguistic groups, professional groups, etc. Thorough study of these categories help us to understand the population composition. What do you mean by the age structure? The total population of the nation comprises of 3 age groups: children, adults and senior citizens. Among the above 3 groups, maximum and the most important difference is seen in the first and the third group, that is children and the senior citizen. As per 2001 census, 35 to 40% of total population is below 18 years, whereas 7 to 10% is senior citizen and rest all are adults. Project now. Survey 10 families in your area and gather information about their age. Classify the information into the 3 groups. Then you will come to know that how many senior citizens are there in that 10 families, how many children are there and how many adults are there. Now what do you mean by the sex ratio? Sex ratio can be defined as the number of females per 1,000 males. Sex ratio has been reducing constantly since 1951. India's sex ratio as per 2011, here the chart is given, children, you can see over here the number of females from 987 to 964 per 1,000 men, it has been reduced. Amreli, Junagadh, Bhavnagar, district wise it is given. The number of females fell from 955 to 952. Junagadh, Bhavnagar also females fell from 937 to 931. Here female ratio is reducing per 1,000 males. Kutch also reduced, Rajkot also reduced, and now you can see over here these districts are in red zone, that females are less. India, total number of females per 1,000 is 940. Gujarat 918, Uttar Pradesh They all are in 900s line. Kerala's ratio is more, female ratio. West Bengal 947. Jammu and Kashmir very less, 800. Delhi 800, near about 800 line, and again Assam and Andaman Nicobar line 954 and 878. So the government has launched Beti Bachao Save the Girl Child campaign to stop female feticide. Literacy ratio. What do you mean by literacy ratio? The development of any country depends on the literacy rate of that country. Literacy is an important criteria to measure the standard of living of population and its social development. Literacy is also the key to economic development of any nation. The definition of literacy was fixed at the time of census in 1991. According to it, individual who is 6 years or above and who can read, write and understand any one language is considered as literate. Literacy rate in India has been increasing consistently, which is positive sign. Yes, nowadays the importance of education people are knowing and they are educating their children. So our literacy ratio has gone up. Now occupational structure. Any person in the country engaged in any kind of economic activity is included in the occupational group. It can be divided into two, earning population and dependent population. There are two types of groups. The earning population is constantly increasing due to rapid industrialization in the country. Now changes in the population are again of two types, quantitative change and qualitative change. Quantitative changes are, we notice a rise or a fall in the population. This happens due to the growth and migration of people. The conditions leading to a quantitative change are landlessness, low per head land ratio, urbanization, as well as the social and administrative reasons. Qualitative changes are observed in the levels of health and education indicate qualitative changes. It alerts the way of thinking and behavior as well as style and standard of living. Other factors responsible for qualitative changes are dedication, hard work, patriotism, enthusiasm, courage, etc. These factors bring about socio-cultural changes. Now there are two groups, like religious group and linguistic groups. Groups distributed according to the language and according to the religion which they follow. Religious groups, India is a secular state, so people who follow different religions stay together here among all the religions. Hindus are in majority, followed by Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains and Parsis. These are the religious groups. And now linguistic groups, country with the diversity as its prime characteristics. So currently there are 22 languages recognized by our constitution. This is very important point, children, that how many languages are there in our constitution. Recognized 22 languages. Hindi and English are the two official languages. The states have been formed on the basis of now health structure. Health of a person can be defined as the physical, mental, emotional, social, economic and spiritual. The best level of health helps in fostering the process of national development. Now what is a national population policy? Population of a nation is its wealth and strength. If the human resources is educated, trained, healthy and strong, then it will foster the development of the nation. A carefully planned use of human resources builds the foundation for the development of the nation. To keep the pace with the developed nations, it is very important that the human resources develop. Factors that hamper the progress of the nation must be eliminated or controlled. Overpopulation is one factor which has to be dealt with as per the population policies adopted since 1951. A part of national population policy, various programs like nutritious food program, care for mother and child, pure drinking water, school, health programs, safeguarding the rights of children must reach to the grassroots levels. Even the 5 years plans are made keeping the national population policy in focus. We must resolve to contribute as committed and responsible citizens towards the progress of the nation. Healthy India, prosperous India, that country is prosperous whose citizens are mentally and physically prosperous.